Yeah, definitely Jin has a really good voice. Like you could tell, it's totally released up here. This is probably the heaviest of any of the previous songs that I've gone through from BTS and all the members of BTS.
Run, run, lost boy, they say to me.
Already just on the intro, this musical intro is really, really nice. I like the piano, I like the guitar that's going on, I like the synthesizers in the background. It's really well orchestrated so far. So remember with the last video a while back, I was commenting on the production and how they have a little bit too much of a compressor on the vocal, and I think that that is also true here. To me, it's sounding very flat and very much like there's no real dynamics in the vocal line because it's all been kind of crushed out a little bit. But so far vocally here, if we're taking away the idea of the production side of things, looking at it vocally, he's coming here with a chest voice, whispered tone. So right here, he's not in a mix, he's very much in that type of position as he's singing. Okay, so now they've doubled the vocal. The vocal is getting wider, sounding a little bit more airy. There's a little bit more room to it, which undoes a little bit of what the compressor is doing of like squashing the vocal, not giving it any room. This is sounding a little bit better, and I think that the doubled aspect has some harmonies on it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so now there's a high harmony that's coming in that is adding to that sound, which is really, really cool. So there he is a little bit more connected, not as disconnected as the beginning, whereas so now he's getting adding a little bit more chord closure. Now much more full voice, he's singing this part a lot more full out. There's not as much air, he's closed down a lot of the airflow, and I really like how he uses a little bit of a high larynx, but it's without strain, which is really cool. A lot of people fall into the trap of singing with a high larynx for style, but then it leads to strain in the voice, whereas he's singing it and there's really no strain that I can tell here. And you can hear how connected he is because when he lets go of the sound, you get a wah, you get that kind of like pulling apart of the vocal cords and the air kind of spills out. That's usually that type of sound is a clear indication that there's chord closure so that the vocal cords are coming together. Keep this in mind for your own voices because when you're questioning, am I singing this closed chord? Is this actually coming out a lot more open than it should be? Always ask yourself this: if I end the phrase and I don't try to end it specifically by, kind of trailing off the sound or fading out the sound, would my vocal cords make that pull apart sound where they pull off, where they pull apart? So if that is true, then you've got chord closure when you're singing. If it's not the case, then you know that you're probably blowing There's not the same pull apart when your vocal cords have a lot of air coming through them. So it's a really great trick for you guys to be able to know, am I in a closed chord position or not? So the line just before that was in a falsetto, which was really, really nice, totally released. Again, he's in a studio version, so definitely they would have unlimited amount of takes, right? You can go back and you can have a Frankenstein vocal line where you have pieced together, oh, you know, vocal take number 1 was good, vocal take number 2, this next word was good, and so on and so forth. So you can kind of break it up that way. So definitely something that is definitely possible in a studio version. So I'm excited to see what that would be like in their live version. Yeah, definitely Jin has a really good voice. Like you could tell, it's totally released up here. This is probably the heaviest of any of the previous songs that I've gone through from BTS and all the members of BTS. This is definitely one of the heavier choruses that I've heard. So a really nice bridge, kind of breaking it down here, where you've got the really intense chorus and then the much more subdued whispered verse. So here is a really good balance of those two, where he's kind of in his chest voice but more connected than before. And here he's got a lot of help with an upper vocal, right? The upper vocal is an octave above. And so I believe that that's really a great tool that we can use if you think about songwriting in general. And for all of you who are songwriters out there, taking notes here would be really important, where you've got a vocal that's very clearly breathy at the beginning, low down in his range, jumps up to the chorus, which a lot more intensity, and then a bridge that's kind of a mix of the two. And so that kind of gives it a very interesting feel that now keeps you interested for the rest of the song to come. So really beautiful. I like how they broke it down, like no other vocals, just his main lead vocal here, totally in falsetto. So there's no intensity here. It's the intimate one-on-one feel. Once you've gotten that punched in your face type of vocal in the chorus and the really intimate verse, here we're getting his upper end, his high end, in a very intimate feel, which is really nice. Building into it. See, that's really great how he did that. He broke it down to the point where it was just his vocal at falsetto and slowly built up more intensity, more volume, more chord closure until he got to the chorus again. I love this with all the vocals and harmonies that he's got on the ohs part. He's got tons of vocals, and then with the front and center vocal, I'm the one I should love, front and center, and a lot louder than the other vocals that are kind of coming in from both ends. So I really like the whole production of this performance. I really like the backdrop. I really like the idea of him front and center on the white piano. It has a very cool visual aspect to it that's really, really nice. So far his vocal has been very close to the original, very airy kind of forward presence as he's singing. I love how relaxed he is coming into that intense chorus. Even though it's super high, he's not stressing it. You can see in his face, he's just totally, totally relaxed. That's how you want to approach high notes. Look at how relaxed that is. It's so released. That's what I was hearing in the original recorded version, was that total release that he has there. There's no push, there's no force. You could see it in his neck. His neck is very relaxed. I mean, there's the vein here that is protruding. That's just kind of, or you guys would see it here. The vein here that's protruding, that's totally normal when you're getting intense into a sound. But in here, everything's really relaxed. If you guys like this one, I've got another video right here that I'm sure you're gonna love, so stick around for that next one.